Okay, good morning, good evening. What time of day it is here? Yes, I know. Today, June 21st, National Aboriginal Day, and today I'm talking about word residential school, known as a school of torture. Okay, one thing you do when you go to a school, you're going to go into education facility to learn, not be tortured by teachers and being abused. But when Aboriginal people went to get their education at facility, they got abused by the people running the school. Not only that, they had to live there, and on top of that, have their native and losing native culture. I'm being told if it, I'm getting spanked for speaking English, or getting barbecued and spanked, getting electrocuted. I'm gonna demonstrate this, but no people involved. I got a pillow here, pillow sitting on top of a wooden chair like this. And when I hit the belt, I hit the belt on a wooden pillow, not even. That's it. This is a pillow on the seat. No people, no human that is involved in this thing I'm gonna demonstrate in YouTube. Remember, viewer discretion is advised on this video, and advise young kids, not really watch it, but adults that can learn from this, and anybody over 18 are more than welcome to watch it. Because of YouTube, Ontario government restrictions now, the federal restriction on Canada, I will do or demonstrate what I'm talking about by showing it to you. But I'm going to turn around and say something to you. Residential school and native culture were the worst torture thing that ever happened to Aboriginal people. Well, you think in Nazi Germany concentration camps were bad in World War II. This was worse than that. And believe it or not, today they still do it. They still do it. But they don't put Native people in residential school. Instead, they take a First Nation person who's a little cuckoo because they don't. I think it's this and that. Know what they do? They lock them in the way in a mental hospital, dope them up with a bunch of psych drugs, but they don't know who they are anymore. And that is not the way to handle it. That's still torture, no matter how you look at it. But it is, torture. It happened to a friend of mine a couple of years back. I can't, I say Mr. X being confident. Well, Mr. X put this person in hospital, and that person was in there for almost 6 months got out, and turned out, well, that individual is still alive today, but it is not, a person I would put on YouTube, or yeah, not. I can't mention that person's name confidentiality wise, but you know what they did? They were drugged him up so much he was revved up, hyper. Anyways, he couldn't think of what, it couldn't go straight. It was very bad. It was worst thing ever could have done. And this person was full blood native. So yeah, when he came out of the hospital, it couldn't function in native community, and couldn't function the white man because he didn't know where he belonged, basically. So anyway, wow, residential school did the same thing. A person came out red, they didn't know where they belonged, white man community or native community. See, the native community is based on many faults, but also based on creation in a way. Mother Earth, another thing is based on. With me myself being, I worked with Powwow Trail for a few years. I learned stuff over that time. How to really go in the forest and survive. What are you gonna do? You go into a forest. You turn your cell. No signal. No service. You are lost. What are you gonna do? Well, option A, keep on going. Nope. Stay in one spot and wait. Don't move. Period. Number two, if you turn off the phone because it's trying to serve batteries, Number 3, start a very smoky fire in the forest. A smoky fire will raise a lot of smoke, and smoke raises alarm. On where somebody in a forest fire sees that smoke, they're gonna think it's a forest fire, and they're gonna respond to that forest fire. When they get there, they'll find you lost, but doing smoky fire, it's a signal fire. Basically, those that can save you in water. If you come upon a river or a stream, yes, and if they're really lost, and they find a weather relay station nearby that stream of any type, recording weather, yeah, you can do this. Get into the control panel on this, find the transmit button, and put it into emergency recon mode, put emergency repair mode, and that sound an emergency that something is wrong with this tower when it's not. Make it think that by disconnecting a cable. Then again, it sends a signal that a malfunction alarm, and they're going to send somebody there to fix it. And when they do, they find you lost, and you got rescued. These are how to get away. 2, if you're in the forest and it's long and in there, you can do one or two things. Survival in the forest can be difficult. Number 1, take a branch, turn that into a very sharp spear with a very pointed tip. And you look around for any small game. If you see something like a ground squirrel, or you see a something like that, what are you gonna do? Hit that ground squirrel with that thing. You kill the ground squirrel, then you're gonna eat it. Then you take the scat off. You get on the fire and hang it over a fire. So if you have a metal pole, hang it. If had a big heavy piece of wood, you get it over a hot fire and you hang it on a rope by its tail. You let the whole squirrel just barbecue away, cook away. And by the time it's done, you can open it up, eat it, and there you just ate you have something to eat to sustain you. Number 2 is to kill the game. Number 2, do not get rescued. And even though I got rescued by game warden and did it out of season, you can say to game warden, if he's not in court law, take court law in front of judge hunting out of season on a license. They say, I was lost in the forest, hunting for survival, not for pleasure, not for recreation, survival. And you can say that, and the judge will turn around, and he may not even might throw charges out of court, or game warden might turn around and say, this guy hunting for this person so hunting for survival. That is true. If you don't, hunting is one way of surviving. Finding something that's smaller than you could eat. And wildlife doing that for hundreds and thousands of years. Think about it. A gopher will eat a ground squirrel. You know what? A little mouse, a small mouse, a mouse will sick monk eat a mouse. A snake will eat a mouse. A rat is eaten by a bigger animal. So every animal has its point out in society. Nothing, ground will talk, and ground know who you are when you've been there. And the earth holds memory who is there and who's not. Anyway, so I'm going to go on to the story about residential school here, and they're going to be, this is the story. These things never happen, but here's the story, and here's how it begins. Mommy, I'm going out hunting for some nice venison for dinner now. I got my bow and arrow. I gotta go hunting for my dinner, and I gotta get it, and bring it back. We can cook it. We can make it venison stew tonight. And Mommy said, okay, you can go out and get the hunting done. Yeah. And then as I go out on a trail, I said, nice, beautiful buck in the bush. I got my bow out, being ready to shoot it. And all of a sudden, it went down. And next thing you know, I get a person standing behind me. Stand up. put that bow on the ground now. Now. And look around, and it was a full-blood officer in the uniform, police officer. You put the bow on the ground. You're going to school whether you want it or not. What do you mean school? What do you mean school? I just hunting my family. My mom took me home and said, well, and while you now, that's it. You gotta be taking you now, whether or not. And he's trying to run, and you jumped on by 20 different cops and the reverend. Reverend sit you down. You are not that a god. You will go to. You're gonna go here to circuit with or run it or not. And they throw you in the back of a car, and he drives up through all these country roads. Now he drives into Circuit River School, Circuit River Residential School, and we got him hunting bison in the bush. I caught deer in the bush there. Well, we gonna kind of well, you're not going to school. Okay, well, let get him. Okay, oh yeah. And the three walk out. The nun comes. They grab the person, and they slam a person down on the seat hard. They slam a person down on the seat hard, and say, okay, you know what? If one cross, one thing, that God, one language, that language is English. Oh, that is English. No, I can't understand your language. I don't know what this is. And I can't understand. Yeah, okay, well, you speaking English. You speak Indian, so you can't understand the language. All I can do is speak Indian. I don't know your language. I don't understand it. How can you make me speak your language on that? Well, if you don't, okay, take him into the impairment room. Okay, take him in here to the dorm. Rip down the clothes. Put him in these blue jeans, t-shirts. Whether throw him any clothing. Send him into his room. Take him down. Okay, here's your bed. Hard lump some bed, and you gotta sleep there. And the other two. If you try to escape, you'll get this. And you'll get electric. You'll get some electricity put through you. Oh no, what do you mean? What electricity? Well, you'll find out. And this is your first fucking lesson. This is what teacher in class would go, and this person in school saying, I can't understand you because you don't speak my language. So we don't speak the language. I'm sorry to say it, but I got here. You're gonna come with me now. You go. This is what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna go like this. Speak English. Ow! Speak it. Ow! Speak English again. Ow! Boo! Ow! And what happened? And person screaming. My butt is sore. Well, no, if you don't speak English, next step number 2. Sit down in the chair. We're gonna sit down now, and you're gonna have to put a thing on a leg. You're gonna be electro lowered head, and you're gonna suffer hard. No, and the lower cap electrodes on my head, and I felt like the worst pain in my life, and I couldn't believe it. I was numb and tingling everything, my brain, and I couldn't understand anything. And the tea go again, and then this again. Next time, we're gonna put an teacher and the next, And I guess, what do you do next? The teacher said, what is we're talking about? I don't understand. And it goes on. The abuse, the punishment, the electric chair goes on and on and on. As I've been tortured away in electric chair. And finally the day comes. Finally that day comes, you know, I'm just gonna turn 18 and the residents get the notice saying the school is officially gonna close affected next week permanently and will not be resuming ever again. And I'm standing there and look at this, and none go, I'm back, I'm better, oh yeah, Bill boy, and now he's out. We're gonna up your dose of electricity now. We're gonna give you double the dose that you got before, because you don't know how to speak English. If you don't, and under, well, we don't know how to speak English, but you're gonna learn. And again, double the dose. What do you mean double the dose? You know what I'm talking about. And they dropped me into the chair again, and they put the cap on that, and then my whole body was on fire. Go, ah! And then finally they stopped. And the next thing you know, I'm okay. Here we go. Soften a little bit more. Okay. Okay, now pack your things up. No. And I'm going, packing everything up in my room. I pack things up. And finally I get out of school and I walk and I leave there and I'm looking around, everything's saying, I don't remember, I make it back to home reserve. My family members are not there, not in the reserve anymore. They're all gone. Every house is ruined. I got no place to go. I don't understand why I am. I'm listening to me go all the time. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I feel worse off. And finally, I run into an elder. The elder says to me, well, okay, I believe you. I know what you went through. And I believe your parents are now living in a nursing home, but they also, I'm your uncle, I'm your father that heard you went to school, arrested by the police and took into residential school. Anyway, Daddy, I'm so glad you're alive. I've been lost and they kicked me out of school. Well, they closed the school permanently, and now I'm lost. See, and finally, settle down. Are we gonna do something? What? What do you need to do? It was awful, horrible. Well, anyway, we're gonna try to make amends. We're gonna do something. And they turn around and say, "This is what we're gonna do. We are gonna take them to court, and we get a class action law, and then they get the money, class action lawsuit, and all of that." And things started settling down, and I kind of feel better. And I've been told all about electric chair and circuit river, everything else, how I gotten it every time, and gave me a bad dose afterward. It really messed me up. And elder received, and the elder says to me, elder had my father, wow, that is awful. And we're going to make sure it gets disabled. Well, that's awful, too. That's daddy. Okay. Oh, okay. That ends the story here, get? Now, actually, it's true. Circuit River had an electric chair in a residential school, and they were they were torturing people electric. In the case, one Aboriginal person, and what I learned over time, this is told by, I think it's told by one of clan mother told me, Six Nathan, whose name I'm not mentioning because because of spiritual reason, I can't do that. Be just honoring it and her in a way I can't say in my way of putting it. I'm going to put it this way. Yes, grandmother had a little boy who was putting on electrics and Sarah would put on 40,000 bullets, and they literally electrocuted him to death because he couldn't speak English. The other ones were tortured. He got more hydro than what he could ever extend, and it literally killed him. Yeah. But, I'm not mentioning the name of the guy, not mentioning the name, but this grandmother told me about it once. And, oh my God, if a native person tells me that it was the actual electric circuit river, I tend to believe them. Because natives don't really make stories like that. Anyway, so what it is, native people do believe in the earth, do believe in the land in many ways, are connected to it, and spiritually and physically connected in sense that we don't know. But also too, as Aboriginal people also know secret. We don't even know. The things that they know we do not. I think I don't know. But I do know from working on power, many of them do hunt, even hunt today to make for food. Even though they can go grocery store and buy food, they still hunt for it. Not all the time, yes. And they do hunt, and they hunt a lot. That's something that they do. On top of that, the many treaties that go in there. The one great treaty that been written, it's done between between the United States and Britain and First Nation, called the Jay Treaty. It's allowed First Nation people to freely cross the border without being stopped by a border guard or immigration officer whatsoever at any point in time, and to the United States and not be and able to live in the United States without being questioned by any state authority, believe it or not. That's a BIA. And recently, with Donald Trump and Homelands and the ICE, a couple of native out of it, they have violated the treaty in many ways, shape, or form, locking people up, putting them in jail. This elder was told they locked it out of jail, and he said they wouldn't let him in, and because he's Indian, they turned around and they said, instead of getting obeyed, because you don't, we can't, we don't, because they out it, because it's home, because the ICE said Turtle Island don't exist. And the reason Turtle Island does, because I'm on it, so everybody else is see on. If you were to look at Florida, that looked like a turtle head. You were to look at all the land mass up there, and you look at the North Pole, that's in the shape of a turtle called Turtle Island. Yep. And that is what it means. When they just refer to Turtle Island, referring to this part of the world. When they're referring to a South Island, it's referring to South America, where in the Six Nation Iroquois Confederacy was designed in such a way that it disturbed all nations can come under a great tree of peace of one, called the Six Needle Pine. And it was written in such a way that nobody was excluded from anything. And that is true. Nobody's been excluded from it. Well, even the person white. Now, too, as non-Aboriginal people can learn a lot from the Iroquois Confederacy. Because the Iroquois Confederacy itself, among the Confederate chiefs, it is the longest combining, Confederacy in history. And it considered within it of one of the seven wonders of the world, like Niagara Falls is seventh wonder, Iroquois Confederacy, another seventh wonder of the world. It's very interesting, very big, political piece of literature. It's actually Haudenosaunee, which does have in Red Hill Valley fall under the Confederacy because there are Haudenosaunee burial grounds in Red Hill Valley, which was disturbed by Red Hill Expressway. Shame on shame on somebody greed, power, control, and that. Shame on that person who destroyed it. Somebody who hate tree, ripped trees by ball. And I called when you rip tree root ball called raping mode. And there was a case right in Red Hill Valley. It was something I saw in Red Hill. It wasn't very unfed when the building fed. They were going through there a whole bunch of deer under this tree. They're lying down, and a big guy in a backhoe come roaring up with a big excavator with a claw on it. He grabbed it. What he did was he grabbed the tree by a ball. The deer, and he not only that, but he grabbed a bunch of deer with a claw first and ripped them up off and crushed them, killed them, threw them in the back of a dump truck. Then he ripped up the old tree, tossed it back of the truck, break it up, he put it all back on top of all these dead deer that he killed with backhoe. I seen what he did. I actually have video on old flip phone that was very grainy video at the time. I got it on there. It showed the Max Resorts, and you know what happened? Bono Construction was truck with Poto. They made it done. They pulled away. They actually RCMP and the MTO and the Ministry factory pulled the truck up. They made dump the whole load out on Middle City Street below. All the bloody deers were coming out, and they grabbed them and they arrested them and they charged them and they turned around, demanded, and Bono, guy from Bono shows up. He's so big, gigantic limo. And he gets out. He's that boy now. No, they arrested him and they charged him with hunting and a confiscated excavator. They went on the construction site. Owner Bono was paying people off to kill many deer for the excavator. And not only that, Bono got charged with using construction excavator and illegal hunting a deer with a construction excavator. Go figure. They got caught. They lost their license. And on top of that, the equipment was impounded and they cannot do any more construction. Matter of fact, the Italian people Italian around, they all were removed from the country, sent back to Italy permanently, never to come back here again. Basically. See? That bad. That was one cruel injustice did. The harm here. Well, many things. I can go and hear a land remember who walks on it. I can walk and know that there was a dairy farm here. The land remembers a dairy farm that was here. I remember that horse with the dairy rag behind it. Remembers that horse. It doesn't forget. Land across the street, remember there was a coal mine. Remembers that there was a potato farm there. And remember tower, other things. See, it doesn't forget, Land don't forget what it remembers. I've been up at Camp Cockwall, and I walked on land there. That land remembers me for walking on it. It remembers other people walking on with me. So, it doesn't forget. I went back to Camp Cockwall. I know land will greet me again. Land don't forget. Land hold memory. You there. I hold memory of Pastor Mike Scott walking on it when I was there. I sensed that in it. Land tells me stuff. Trees tell you stuff if you know how to look at it. But up here, you have to know. If you don't know these stuff up in the head, you know what? You always think of money. It's not. You're not going anywhere in this world. Tell you what, you can't eat money. You cannot eat money. But you can buy stuff with money, but you can't eat it. That's right. But the truth is, no matter how I look at this and how I say it, the truth is this. The people are what makes the planet. It's the people's beliefs. Well, anyways, I'm going to say enough of it because I'm going to say land always remember who walked on it. Think of that one. Yep, it does. Same with me in London. I walk on London and the land there know who I've been there. It knows I grew up there. See? Land hold memories. Trees can tell you stuff. You know how to look at it, how to talk. And there's ways of telling, ways I can go and do it. Some of the old growth tree up by Norfolk, I have looked at, I communicated with it, and it told me a lot going on here. It said about land dispute over the dairy farm, the wagons, a dairy wagon with a horse. Told about a potato farm. It told me a lot of things. It told me even said that there was an old house that was where the was over where the convenience store now called super called the super something a super convenient mart, supermart. Called a supermart there now, a supermart cannabis stuff like that. Called Speedy Market. There's Speedy Market. It's that store there now, but with other things from before. But you know what? It is still, think about it. Yep, land remembers. Land go down to London. The land remembers me. It knows who I am. I can stuff the tree and read it. I've done it here, and the trees tell me a lot. The tree at the old growth tree that Noville told me, I'm from Noville, they told me one thing. It did not like the Red Hill Expressway being put there. That's right. They can talk, we know how to listen. People don't know how. I know. Trees that can't walk talk to me too. They told me things about the land. They said that they never want to see development there. Rather see it as what it is, not what it's not. Anyway, they were happy that that they didn't get caught, but that's true. Trees do hold memory. And it's the same to think, but it's true. Anyways, I'm going to say enough about it. I'm going to say you need to look around, look at the wind, listen to nature. It's out there going to give you clues. It will help you. It will guide you. God will guide you so far. Nature guide. My guardian angel Ozzy, sitting over here on the couch right now, seeing that. Yeah. It's a minute here. Hey, Ozzy, what do you think of that? Me saying that. Yeah. Land remembers. Yeah, that's it. The land remembers. It's the same thing. Yep. Enough said. I'm going to end my video here. Thank you for listening live stream. I haven't seen anybody. You can do me a favor down here to see this little arrow with finger up. Click that. Click the like button. Let me know how I'm doing. That tells me my algorithm. How many people tell I'm doing a good job. If you don't, YouTube don't know I'm doing a good job. That tells that algorithm there on YouTube let me know I'm doing a good job. Remember, be safe. Don't get to me on Monday, Peacemaker's Journey. Well, I might be loading one next week, but I won't be loading one in next one. I may load in next week. 1 week, but the one I'm gonna start loading a lot more and one in London, where I'm staying at. So remember, blog is now over. You have a wonderful and productive day. Blog over.